will. Hello, everybody out there in the land of YouTube. I think we're live, but I'm not really sure. Because I still see my slide. Are we live? Okay, here we are. Hello. Hello, everyone from hot, humid Maine. Cheryl's saying, well, yes, I was... The reason I'm late is because I was literally soaking my head. So I would be cool. And I have my fake beer on ice. I literally have fake beer on ice. And when I get really too warm, I'm just going to get the ice cube and put it all over my head. Because that's how we do in New England when we have no AC. How are you all doing? Do let me know. I'm going to talk really loud tonight because I do have the door open because it really will be way too stifling if I do not have the door open. So, welcome to Friday Night Live. What a week it's been. Do we say that every week? Yes, we do. But sometimes, you know, it's a good thing that lots of things have happened. Let me just check something. In just 1 week, the leader of the Sinaloa cartel was captured, which was the equivalent of capturing like Osama bin Laden, you know, in terms of how high up on the food chain the Sinaloa cartel was. I think it was a big drug smuggling operation. In just 1 week, they were captured. The cartel was captured. The leader of Hamas was killed, and American hostages were released from Russia. Thank you, Joe Biden. Yeah, it's been a good week. It's been a good week. I just keep thinking back to the Sunday after Joe Biden announced he wasn't going to be running for re-election, and I said it was going to be a good thing that was happening. So, welcome. Another good thing that's happening, personally, is with the help of my indispensable Terry, who's behind the scenes producing tonight. And she's here every Friday. You know, it looks a little different every Friday, probably a lot better. We were able to get up, finally. I finally have a music website.
Nailed it.
It went live moments ago.
Nailed
right,
it.
Terry? Let's have some applause. It's taken me forever. All right, you don't have to applause. So it's a little low, but that's fine. I can feel the vibes of the applause. I don't know how it didn't occur to me that I really need to get my music up on a website. So now we have that. It's AnnetteDionMusic.com. You'll hear songs there that I recorded in Nashville back in 2010. Some patriotic songs, and that's just kind of a smattering of how many songs I do have. So you can donate on AnnetteDionMusic.com. You can donate to help support my musical endeavors, and thank you to those of you who have done that. And it's exciting, and We Won't Be Backing Down is there also. It might have a different title. It might be called We're Taking Back Democracy. I don't know what we ended up landing on there. So I will be yelling through this video. Let's grab a moon card. People send me cards every so often, and I like to use them all as much as I can. And these are from M in Montana. Oh, my subscribers are going up. Yeah, good. Phew. Maybe just things have finally cracked open. Sometimes you have to wait and wait and wait. All right. So the moon cards that we have. This says your hard work is paying off. I think I'll take that one. I like that one a lot. Your hard work is paying off. That's for all of us. Isn't it funny? That's just exactly what I was talking about.
Nailed it.
Our
Nailed
hard
it.
work is paying off. I don't know why that's so low, Terry. Maybe my volume is low. Yeah, we'll go with that. Then we'll go with that. Our hard work is paying off. When we started this year, I made a vow. I took an oath that 2024 for me was going to be about nothing but saving democracy. And it really has been now. So, and I have a couple other cards that I fell out too. A new start is coming. These are powerful cards. A new start is coming. And expect powerful change. I'm liking the way that Friday Night Live is starting out tonight. How about you? To recap, your hard work is paying off. Now you can apply that to yourselves personally. A new start is coming. And expect powerful change. Well, we are in powerful change, all right. That's really, really, really the size of it. Expect powerful change. Well, we have been expecting powerful change. We have not let up. Here at grassrootsofdemocracy.com, you know, our group, and here at the Psychic News Network, we have not let up. We just kept going. All right. The hostages were freed. I feel like I'm looking at some really interesting energy this past week. Yes, please join Grassroots of Democracy. This week, what I've seen is a lot of, I want to say, inconsistencies with the humans on the planet that are practicing evil. And what I mean is, like, we see the MAGA, which have you noticed? I don't know if this is true for you too. I can't even call them the Republican Party. I can't even call them the Republican Party. But what we see them doing, have we noticed that? Is they talk out of both sides of their mouths. They say one thing, and then the next time you hear them being interviewed or asked a question or something, they say the polar opposite thing. And then they say, like Trump was all about Project 2025, right? Feels weird to even say his name now that he's losing energy. Losing energy. This is Donald Trump's energy. Ooh, he's losing energy. So he was all about Project 2025, and now he's like, oh, what Project 2025, right? We just see so many conflicting things going on. And then this morning, the hostages got freed. I've been saying repeatedly here that I felt like Putin was really getting very, very weak. Speaking of people losing energy. And I see this video this morning, and I'm still trying to figure it out. And Putin was saying goodbye to the hostages and giving them a pleasant send-off. Did you guys see that? And there was one person that had a huge bouquet of flowers, and he was giving some kind of a speech that was kind of like, it almost sounded like he was proud of the hostages for having done something wonderful. And so that was weird. Did anybody see that? So it's like, what they say? Up is down and down is up, and we don't know what to think. Anyway, I couldn't find my decent glasses, so bear with me while I try to see through these dirty bifocals. Heard he made Evan Gershow. I mutilate that guy's name. I really just need to write it down. Yeah, they greeted the hostages. I'm like, what was that? Maybe we can start there. Well, one of the things is that Putin knows that Trump is losing. Trump is losing potential voters like they're just like sand through the hourglass, right? Let's grab the cards for the nefarious people. You know, our favorite deck, Magicians, Martyrs, and Madmen. And we'll see what's up with that. How's Putin doing? Bear with me tonight. I can barely see. When we're on StreamYard, it's a lot smaller, too. So I'll do what I can. You can talk amongst yourselves. And if somebody can see when we reach 200, we can do a group hug. We didn't even reach that on Wednesday. But I'm persisting. Nevertheless, she persisted. Yeah, what's up with Vlad? What was that? What was that about? He was hugging that murderer friend of his that Germany was holding. And talk about having egg on your face. I mean, Trump was like all about, you know, I'm gonna free Evan. Can somebody put up there how you spell his name? I'm gonna free him. I'm the only one that can do it because Putin will listen to me. Well, you know what, Mr. Trump, Mr. the Donald, it's not like cool to say that you get along really good with an enemy, because this is what you're supposed to do. If you're the president of the United States and you see Vladimir Putin, you're supposed to give him the stare down, right? Am I right? You're supposed to give him the stare down. I remember Obama did that. Thank you. Gerskovich. I was missing the K. Gerskovich. I bet he has to spell his name all the time. I was concerned about him. I was very concerned about him, and I think I expressed that here. Biden must have done some amazing negotiations, because 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was having a hard time thinking about Evan. Because I was getting like Alexei Navalny vibes in terms of his fate. So something switched, which is great. Putin gas played all sides. That's how he stayed alive. What's gas played mean? I'm pulling 3 cards. What was going on there? Why was he acting so like he was making concessions? Let's see. What was going on there? Oh, what was going on there was the 10 of Swords. Yeah. So this is about, I'm reading about Putin and what was going on, why he was acting so like friendly and nice and sweet to the hostages that were being freed. Because he really was treating them like they were soldiers or something who had done some kind of a duty. A noble duty or something. So the 10 of Swords. That's a lot of pain for Putin. That's a lot of pain for Putin. This is not my favorite card. It's Bridget Bishop. It was... Putin is not feeling like his life is safe at the present time. I'm not really sure why. I don't have any other kind of download on that, but I feel like he's weakened. I feel like he was really counting on Trump. And if you've seen him lately, Donald is losing his mind very quickly. Putin is about appearance. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. Totally. And the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. This is that. This is, he needed to look good because he was being kind of portrayed as a real loser. Putin as a real loser. Yeah, what a guy. What a guy. Honestly. All right, I think it's time to crack open a fake beer on ice. Yeah, Felon 34 has lost his mind. Let's do this. Speaking of Felon 34, if you're just joining us, you might have missed that my music website is up, AnnetteDionMusic.com. AnnetteDionMusic.com. Okay. So, how is the Donald? What's going on around the Donald right now? The word scrambling is coming. Hey, Cheryl. You showed up for me. Well, thank you, John. All the Johns out there. John Frantz. Am I saying that right? Yeah, I posted earlier that we didn't even have enough people in the chat on Wednesday to do, like, we want to reach 200, and that's kind of like a little self-imposed goal. We want to reach 200 people watching the live stream, and when we reach that, we do a group hug, and on Wednesday, we did not even reach that. I tried not to think about it too much. 3 cards. What's going on in Donald's world? Do let me know if you can't hear me. It's really bad when the motorcycles go by. There's an entire colony of seagulls across the street. I don't know if you can hear them, but babies and everything. 5 of Pentacles. Well, the loser is losing money like a sieve. It's going through. The loser is losing money like a sieve. So like earlier, I was saying like sand through the hourglass about Putin. You know, like it's just leaking, and it's bad. The 7 of Wands and the Queen of Cups. It's so obvious. Donald Trump is bleeding money. The 7 of Wands. I have to do this sort of translation in my head with the Rider-Waite deck. It's about projects in the works, but the projects in the works to take down Kamala. But it's almost like, talk about we're not going back, right? Here's Kamala, the Queen of Cups. Here's Trump bleeding money, and here's all the plans that MAGA is making to make sure that they don't lose. But they are losing. They're going to continue to lose. That's all they're going to do is lose. They're going to get so tired of losing. Remember, Trump would be like, we're so tired of winning. No, they're going to be real tired of losing. He owes so much money. I know. It boggles your brain, doesn't it? Yeah. That's crazy. A trombone. So, the Queen of Cups, man, that's Kamala. And Cups is emotions. So what this is about is that Trump cannot match the emotional impact that Kamala Harris is making. She's really making a splash. She cannot be defeated. She cannot be defeated. I mean that. So what they're doing now is they're scrambling. This is the 7 of Wands. They're scrambling with different ideas, MAGA is, about how they're just going to go ahead and steal the election. Here's one of their problems, one of many of their problems, because it's a whole, layers of the onion problems, is that Trump is losing his mind. So they're attempting to back a candidate whose cognitive function is shot. And so it would be different, and there's a lot of blessings in disguise that we can kind of look at. It would be different if it were, say, well, let's just say if Trump was like the way he was in the 90s and he was more together. He was never really together, but comparatively. It would be different if we had a candidate who was really sharp. I mean, for the MAGAs, if they had a candidate that was sharp, that was experienced, that had a silver forked tongue, but he's lost it. And so it would be different if the MAGAs had somebody who was kind of like viable mentally, but they do not. And he's running out of money like crazy. I mean, at every turn, his diaper is leaking. I can see that. At every single turn, oh, well, let's read on Taylor Swift too, and if she's going to make a formal announcement. That'd be interesting to read on. At every single turn, he's trying to make money through grifting, through making them. He's so wired for marketing and branding, which is okay, but not when you're doing what he's doing. I mean, minutes after the attempted assassination, I think it was the next day, hours later, what do you see? He got the photo. He had the photo shoot, right? He had the opportunity, that moment, kind of like when he held the Bible upside down in front of that church on that horrific day, which we're finding more about lately on June 1st, 2020. But what's happening here is he's so desperate for money. How many pairs of sneakers? How many different kinds of sneakers is he selling now? It doesn't make any sense. Like $300 for a pair of sneakers? I'll be damned if I pay $300 for a pair of sneakers. And they're made in China, I am sure. I don't know that for a fact, but as far as a psychic fact, yeah. The most I ever paid for a pair of sneakers was $200. They're really, really good sneakers. Let me just tell you right now. Yeah, I paid $200, maybe a little bit more, just a little bit more, for a pair of running sneakers that that were initially illegal in the Olympics a long time ago because they make you go too fast. But that's it. That's it. That's about, when it comes to working out, I do, I don't scrimp. I don't belong to a gym, so there's that. So do I think the news about Shapiro possibly not addressing sexual harassment issues will impact his chances of being VP? I don't have any background on what you're talking about. Not addressing sexual harassment issues. Yeah, I have no news on him ignoring sexual harassment issues. That's brand new news to me. 200. Well, Damon, you're here. Where you been? We've been looking for you. No, it's not. It's not. Damon saying $200 for sneakers. Oh my God, who were you sneaking up on? Sometimes just on a whim, I'll just go. I'm buying them. They really bounce. It's like you're on the moon. I've only paid that much once or twice. I like to what I put on my feet is those foot gloves. You know what I mean? They're like, it's like walking barefoot, but you do have something on. 3 cards about JD Vance. JD Vance. I mean, speaking of talking out of both sides of your mouth, I mean, it's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. On the one hand, Warren's telling me we passed 207. I can barely see that. All right, give me a topic for the HUD. On the one hand, JD Vance is behaving like if you're childless, you're less of a person. So then the Democrats bring back the child tax credit bill, the issue of because that was a really big help for families, especially during COVID. The Republicans reject it. They bring it back to the floor. JD Vance goes to the border. You guys all check this out? He goes down to the border, says something ridiculous, and he's not there to vote on child tax credit to help struggling families. But he thinks it's bad to be childless. So let me see if I can put this together in my head. JD Vance thinks that you're less of a human if you don't have children. Therefore, that says that he wants everybody to be a baby machine, all the women to be baby machines. And so then, you know, if all the women are kind of forced or pressured into being baby machines, then there's all these babies and they're not going to help them. It's disgusting. 3 cards on him. Prayers for the hostages. Okay, we can do that. We'll pray that they have an easy transition. I mean, they have massive PTSD. Paul Whelan was there since, he was in prison since 2018, I think. And then you love that mic drop moment. When I saw it, I was just like, that's beautiful. When one of the reporters said, well, what do you think about Trump saying that he was going to free Evan? That he was the only one that could free Evan. And Trump, I mean, and Biden responded to that about Trump. Well, he should have done it when he was president. Why didn't he do it when he was president? Notice that Vance didn't bitch about childless men. Good point. Hey, Michael, I'm glad to see that you're coming to class tomorrow. We have a pendulum class tomorrow. Let me just squeeze my little ads in between. AnnetteDionMusic.com. Check it out. Donate to my music cause. JD Vance. I mean, you can kind of look at it this way, right? They're so hapless. They're so awful. They don't even know what they're talking about, right? They can't even keep up with their lives. And we are so strong right now. We've got like most of the country. We have most of the Warren, what's your hurry? Do you have to go somewhere? We have most of the country is on board with saving democracy. So they are in a position where the only way that they could win, this is just a couple weeks into Kamala replacing Joe Biden for presidential candidacy. The only way that they could win anything at all, the MAGAs, is if they do something absolutely horrible, right? Which is not out of the question. We can look at that. But the numbers, you know, and in my song, Taking Back Democracy, we won't be backing down. Whatever I'm going to decide to call it. We won't be backing down. We're rising up in numbers much too numerous to count is one of the lines. And look at the psychic songwriter here. I mean, that's what's happening. Tooting my own horn a little. Did you catch that? JD Vance. Oh, he's just, the Hierophant is indicative of him being anti-constitution. JD Vance is anti-constitution. Trump wants him because he would not certify the election results. That is what they have decided. JD Vance and Trump have decided that they would not certify the election results when Kamala Harris wins. And here's the Constitution. So what JD Vance stands for is no United States Constitution and having a dictatorship and having all our government agencies just dissolve right in front of our eyes quickly. No help from the government for anything, not even the Department of Education. All those departments gone. JD Vance stands for the abolishment of the United States Constitution, and he's such an idiot and such a puppy dog, not a cute one, to Trump. And we all know it. And the Ace of Pentacles is like, it's so clear to us what they're doing. And the Knight of Cups indicates a backlash for J.D. Vance. A backlash. We already know what they're going to do. We are finding out left and right and center where we're finding out all their plans to steal our democracy. It's right out there in plain view. And so during the time between 2020 and now, we have been nonstop. I mean, all the pro-democracy, channels and all the lawyers and all the judges and the whole legal system that are committed to keeping our democracy have had a lot of time, and law enforcement, the DOJ, all of it have had a lot of time to pay attention to their intention to have a coup. They think that what happened in Venezuela, and we're going to take a look at that too. Don't let me forget. They're planning a Maduro thing. But our democracy is strong. So, this is J.D. Vance not being able to get away with you know what. Oh, James looked it up. Trump sneakers are made in China. You know who's selling products that aren't made in China? Midas Touch. And many other pro-democracy groups. Okay. But the Knight of Cups is J.D. Vance has egg all over his face, and we can all see it. You bet that Mark Elias has judicial documents? Yes. Mark Elias is one of the angels of our better nature. Ready to challenge any claims by the deniers. Yeah, so keep up with Mark Elias at Democracy Docket. And donate. Donate. He's working around the clock to save our democracy and to get our voting rights back. They have a full-on plan to take it all away from us. And by the way, whenever you get an opportunity, sign a petition to fire Louis DeJoy. It's getting closer. Great documentary on Netflix on Helen Reddy. Oh, okay. Did I miss something? Are you talking about Helen Reddy from I'm Women Hear Me Roar? This group is Vets for Kamala, and another one is Vets Against Trump. Yeah, and there's another group too that I heard about today called Republicans Against Trump. I think there's a couple of them that have that kind of title. Used to be Republican. Well, here's the thing: Republicans against MAGA. Trump and MAGA. So Warren has proposed that we now do a group hug, and that we make the group hug about sending really healing, awesome, comforting, welcoming vibrations to all the hostages who I was crying. I mean, I'm not the only one. Other people told me they were crying too. It was so deeply, deeply, deeply moving. So we're going to do a group hug. We're going to hug each other, hug our democracy, and do a group hug for the hostages that they're able to find peace. 1, 2, 3. All right. We're not going back. We're coming back. It just popped into my head. We're not going back. We're coming back. Love it. What other nefarious creature can we read on? Anyone have a suggestion? Debbie Stokes mentioned Helen Reddy's song. Yeah, thank you for keeping me in the loop. I feel good. Zircon. Okay. What other nefarious creature do we want to... I'm open for suggestions. There's so many. I'm just not sure who to pick first. The Heritage Foundation. Let's read on the Heritage. Warren's mentioning when he saw the hostages getting off the jet, you lost it completely. I know, and the seagull's losing it too. What are we? Hang on a second. What are you doing up there? He wants to be part of the show. All right. The Heritage Foundation. Jim Jordan? Oh my gosh, I forgot about him. I kind of like being not thinking about him. No, we can read on him. We can read on him. But first we're reading on the Heritage Foundation. Yeah, the seagull's pissed off. They talk to each other all day. BB. Let's first read on the Heritage Foundation. Actually, what I want to read on is I want to read on the head person of the Heritage Foundation, which is Kevin Roberts. I'm telling you, it's a whole community of seagulls out there. Will Bill Barr face indictments? I do believe so. I do believe so. Damon, it's your favorite card. Aren't you glad you're back? I don't know if you left, but we hadn't seen you in the chat. Yeah, The Birds. Alfred Hitchcock. I hated that movie. That was a terrible, scary movie. Maybe they're saying something. Like to us. The lovers. As far as the Heritage Foundation goes, they're kind of single-minded. This is what I'm picking up right now. The Heritage Foundation is very single-minded. It's kind of like, it's cult-like. It's definitely cult-like. And they're bonding together stronger, and they're hyping each other up. Like, go, we can do this. We can take democracy down. They really are. They really are. The Heritage Foundation, the more scared they get, the more double down they get. That bird sounds like Kamala's laugh. That's funny. Now we need an owl to the mix. No owls here. I'm in the city. The Page of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. What they're doing is, what I get about the Heritage Foundation and Kevin Roberts is, you know, it's kind of like an absolute refusal to think about what's happening. You know what I mean? Like an absolute, Kevin Roberts, it just feels like an absolute refusal to think about them not just like pulling this off. So they're doubling down. The Heritage Fund, currently, they're doubling down. They're determined. And let's see how it's going to go. Seagull drama, yeah. I swear, sometimes I'm hearing seagull couples fighting out there. If you listen real hard, you can hear the babies. They're the little peeps. No bottle drop in this location that I've heard. Not every night anyway, but definitely the seagulls. So I like my little slogan that just popped into my head. We're not going back, we're coming back. All right, so 3 cards about how that's going to go. So the Heritage Foundation, they're like getting more locked in. I just realized I didn't make tea tonight, so we're not doing tea leaves. Probably because I couldn't bear the thought of drinking something hot. We'll save that. Okay, this is interesting. Because when I see this, okay, I'm asking about, since I feel the Heritage Foundation really being single-minded, being in denial, head down, nose to the grindstone, continuing with their plans to overtake our democracy. This is the Heritage Foundation. This is what they're thinking. They're really doubled down, and now I'm reading about how that's going to go for them. And I see Vladimir, remember Vlad Dracula? Whoa, this card comes up a lot. The Four of Swords. Okay, this is about, you heard it here, but maybe you already sensed this. the Heritage Foundation getting funds channeled through the Kremlin to them. I think I've said that before. Will the Heritage Foundation lose their charitable status? I do get yes. It's going to take a while. But the Putin card, Vlad Dracula, wahaha. Oh, that's good. I like it. The organ, the Dracula music. I love it. Okay, and then here is the Four of Swords, which means losing energy. Needing to recharge, but not being able to recharge. Wow, this is interesting because then I have the Lover card too. So these cards are telling me that the Heritage Foundation is definitely locked in with our enemies. Viktor Orban comes through really strongly, who's connected to Putin. But the Four of Swords indicates that they're losing energy. They're losing energy. And I want you all to really consider, there's not much that's more powerful than people coming together the way that they are now. I can't think of anything more powerful than people coming together the way that they are now in the United States of America. It's a beautiful thing to see. It's really extra beautiful because I know how hard we have all worked collectively. So it's really great. It's really great to see that. My clutter is everywhere. It's really awesome to see that. And I just see I see the Heritage Foundation weakening. Weak. They are tax exempt. Orban is a coutier with benefits. Yeah, Viktor Orban's bad news. And I think it's going to be more and more clear to the people who haven't been paying attention that when Trump gets up there and he says, I get along great with Putin, I get along great with Kim Jong-un, it's just like, I think people are going to be catching on more and more as they start paying closer attention to how absolutely weird that is. It's weird to be an American citizen and to be, oh yes, dictators, oh yeah, oh dictators, oh yeah, we love dictators. It's very weird. Very, very weird. And the seagulls agree with me. They definitely do. Will Tennessee turn blue? I heard that Gloria Johnson won her primary. Tennessee won't turn blue, but I see Tennessee turning purple. Nashville is a big, giant blue dot. It's where the artists are. I know this from my experience. Somebody wanted me to read on Jim Jordan. What do you want to know about Jim Jordan? The guides are really telling me that we ain't seen nothing yet in terms of how many people, governors, people in, politicians, positions of leadership, unions. We ain't seen nothing yet. That's what I'm getting. Baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. There's going to be so much excitement about Kamala Harris. And it's all, the foundation of that is Joe Biden. She learned from him. You want me to read on whether Marsha Blackburn is out? God, I hope so. I'll ask the pendulum in Tennessee. So it's like Kamala Harris is riding the wave that Biden started. It's really phenomenal when you think about how bad off we were in 2020. Okay, we'll go ahead. We'll dive in. I'm procrastinating. I'm delaying it. Jim Jordan. What's going on with Jim Jordan? They're on recess until like September. Must be nice. And you're paying, your tax dollars are paying for MAGA people in Congress to go to the beach. Your tax dollars. Tell the others. Not that we don't know that, but I don't think people think about that enough, in my humble opinion. Jim Jordan is still attempting to steal things. I think that it's I don't know when Jim Jordan is up for re-election, and I'm just getting the sense that election and Jim Jordan, those two words don't go together, because I don't feel like he legitimately got his seat. Did they get indictment letters? I'm not picking that up. We're paying them. We're paying them to ruin our country. And we're mad as hell, and we're not going to take it anymore. And that's what Kamala energy has, right? You know, and I was thinking today about the fact, and I've mentioned this before. Thank you, Cheryl. You send me money. I love when people send me money. It totally makes my day. The Women's March in January of 2017, after Trump got inaugurated, was not just the Women's March in this country. Remember all the people in Europe that had huge protests? Remember the Trump balloon, the Trump baby balloon with diapers? That was a different protest, but people have been protesting Trump since the get-go. And so all that energy from the Women's March, biggest protest march in history, it didn't go nowhere. We're still on that. We're still riding that wave. Riding with Biden, and we're riding that wave of the women. And now the women of Bachman Turner Overdrive. I forgot who sang that. Great song. And now the women are being relegated to being second-class citizens or worse. And they're talking about tracking the women's periods. It's like, talk about weird. So this was prior to that all happening, these abortion bans. And so all those women that were part of the Women's March, I mean, I don't know how many. I'll look it up. Maybe somebody can Google it. How many were estimated to be protesting Trump? The Pussy Hats, remember that? 2017? That's the energy that we are reigniting. It was always there. It didn't go anywhere. Yeah, it's sick. It's sick. And J.D. Vance is all for, abortion bans. Not on our watch. I'm still reading on Jim Jordan, in case you forgot. The Two of Pentacles. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Jim Jordan feels like he's got some kind of safety net around him. I'm not sure why he feels that way. I don't want to say that he does, because I don't feel like he does. But I'm seeing that Jim Jordan feels like he's going to get away with a lot. It's very strange. He's delusional. Let's ask the pendulum. Why would he think that? Is Jim Jordan feeling like he's going to get away with all his crimes? Wow, that's weird. That's really weird. Has somebody told him that he'll get away with his crimes? Yes. The plot thickens. He stopped the movie that was supposed to come out. Maybe that's it. How did he do that? Yogi Bear is saying, Annette, I'm turning brown. Oh no. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention that yet. There's just so much idiocy. I don't want to spend a lot of time on Jim Jordan, but somehow he's got this crazy idea in his head that he's going to get away with all his shenanigans, which is a bunch of malarkey if you ask me. Jim Jordan has something up his sleeve, and it might be worth looking into how he got that movie about him to get stopped. Okay. Yeah, that was the George Clooney movie. And it was about him being complicit because he didn't report for years and years boys being sexually abused by their coach. What a horrible human being. Because George Clooney is a coward, perhaps. I'm not impressed with how he's behaved. I sent him a letter. I said, George, remember when you were here? We all really liked you. We thought you were a cool guy. He didn't read it. I'm sure he didn't read it. All right, what else am I reading on? Let's see. Let's read on Marjorie Trader Green, just since we're going down that road for a moment. And then we'll take out the good cards and we'll read on Kamala. Thank you so much for being here. I know that there are many other places that you could go on your Friday night, the first weekend and going into the first weekend in August, and you've chosen to be with me. So it means a lot. Marjorie Trader Green. I'm feeling like they're being told, hear me out. I feel like these MAGAs are being told that they're going to be taken care of, and I'm not really sure where that, I'm not saying they will be taken care of, but I'm not really sure where I'm getting that, where that's coming from. Hey, Lois. Cheers to you. Cheers. Oh, Carol, you're so sweet. Thank you. I feel the love. I feel good. I'm just chilling my I'm chilling my beer, my fake beer. It's interesting. Yeah, they'll be taken care of, all right. Damon's saying. I'm trying to figure out who's telling them they're going to be taken care of, because I get for Jim Jordan and for Marjorie Trader Green that they think they're going to be just fine. News reporting, researchers at the University of Texas still monitoring it. Still monitoring what? Not sure what that's about. Scientists think the earthquake is in Texas are due to the fracking. Let me ask that real quick since we're on the topic. I'm still reading cards on Marjorie Trader Green, but hang on. Is fracking causing earthquakes in Texas? That's a really strong yes. That's a really strong yes. So Kitty Holler thinks Trump is telling them they're going to be fine. Is it? I'm surprised to get this reading on Marge and Jordan. Is it Trump that's telling them they're going to be just fine? Not directly. Hang on a second. Is Viktor Orban telling them that they're going to be just fine? Viktor Orban. We might have to, at some point, really dig deeper into that. Viktor Orban is telling the MAGA traitors in Congress that they'll be just fine. Gloria's drinking Gatorade. High humidity felt like 100 in Connecticut. Totally with you. I'm wearing the coolest shirt I could find. Marge. She's kind of like waiting to get away with things, but the Five of Swords indicates there's a lot of difficulty coming her way. At which point she's going to get more crazy. You know how they double down on their idiocy? She's going to do that. But these cards are also telling me that Marjorie Trader Green is delusional. And I want to just look at that. And maybe Jim Jordan is delusional too. I think she's very susceptible to cult brainwashing, clearly, right? Let me see. Is Marjorie, yeah, she's delusional. She really has drank the Kool-Aid. I'm thinking Ginny Thomas delusional. Marjorie Trader Green is in total cult mind. It's amazing. It's sad. It truly is. And that's why she thinks she's in a strong position. But Viktor Orban is all over this. And I really feel like Viktor Orban somehow has convinced them that they will be able to stay in their positions of power. And I'm only reading on Marge and Jim Jordan, but that's what I'm picking up. Maybe they think when Trump gets into office, they'll be protected. Is that what it is? They believe Trump will get into office and they'll be protected. Thanks for reminding me to read on Venezuela. I did read on it the other night, too. When will we expel foreign agents from our country? Well, they're always kind of here, so I don't think we'd expel them completely. That would be a tough task. All right. So we're going a little bit down a rabbit hole because I'm really trying to figure out why they feel so assured that they'll be okay. And the pendulum said because they really believe that Trump will win. Hang on a second. By the way, while I'm using my pendulum, Psychic Summer School continues tomorrow. It's been every Saturday since July 6th. And tomorrow's class is on learning how to use a pendulum, which is not only for yes or no answers, it's also to clear things and to heal things. So do sign up, Annette Dion, PsychicAnnetteDion.com. I have to name the right website. Do Margie Trader Green and Jim Jordan, are they believing that the coup will work? That's not totally it. I'm kind of stumped. Read on Ted Cruz, please. Do you have a specific question? I mean, because if I just read on Ted Cruz, it'll be like, oh, he's ugly and gross and weird. Okay, so let's switch countries. Let's go to Venezuela and see. I mean, when I read on it the other night, I got that Maduro really, he did some blatant, brazen, cheating, illegal things, and it was just like he didn't win, and he's trying to do a Trump. Well, Trump didn't get that far, thank God. What's going to happen to Maduro? I'm just not really feeling like I want to get into Ted Cruz energy right now because it's so gross and weird. Okay. Thank you, Zircon. Maduro. Maduro in Venezuela is just criming away. He's committing crime after crime after crime. Like he's committing a deluge of crimes and he's just feeling like he's going to get away with it. I kind of feel like other countries are going to step in. There must be a storm coming. They're going crazy out there, those birds. Maduro. So the devil. I think I got the devil the other night, if I'm remembering correctly, when I read on Maduro. The Nine of Cups. He's just like, it's almost like he's getting off on committing all these crimes. He's really getting a big charge, Maduro, on taking over Venezuela. The Four of Swords. This is going to be short-lived for him. This pretending he's a winner when he's really a total loser is short-lived for Maduro. I do see other countries stepping in, including the United States. He's the Venezuelan Trump, yeah, but he got further than Trump did. And remember when Trump said, I mean, there's so many threads that are running through these criminals. You remember when Trump at not the Republican National Convention, but the criminal What did I call them? What did I call that convention? He said the next RNC is going to be in Venezuela, and that was before they had the election in Venezuela, and I was like, what? What? And a couple of years ago, I was reading on Putin, and I thought Putin was going to like escape, and he might have taken a couple of trips. And I didn't really know what the connection was to Venezuela, but a couple of years ago, I was going, Putin's going to take a plane to Venezuela. I had no idea what I was talking about. So that's what I get on Maduro, but I'm going to pull 3 cards about if he's going to be held accountable. I mean, Bibi and Maduro and all these other Putin, they need to go. They need to go. We have had enough. Maybe they'll get in a plane and escape to Hungary. I'm just looking at what's going to happen. Well, I get the judgment card from Maduro. He's going to be judged harshly. The Queen of Swords is coming up. This is Kamala Harris. The United States, when Kamala Harris wins and we defeat MAGA handily, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. The world has had enough, Betty. That's absolutely true. And it's starting to happen like as a total human collective. It's starting to happen. Maduro got drunk with power. Yeah, it's interesting, Damon. You should put it that way because that's how I'm sensing it. It was like an addict, like he's addicted to criming. Trump is the same way. He doesn't, like Trump doesn't know how to tell the truth. The irony of him, you know, it's a sign of evil to flip things on their head. So Trump names his social media Truth Social, right? So Trump is addicted to lying and he's addicted to criming. And what I pick up on Maduro is he's addicted to criming. He's like riding high, like he's having a big rush, Maduro, that he's able to pull this off for the time being. I don't see it lasting for him. Page of Swords, the people have the power. Now, I'm not sure how long it's going to take. All right. I'm tempted to read on Bibi, but we might need to. Trump needs to go back to South Park. Oh, it's so much worse than that. I'm not going to read on Bibi because that's like enough slang for now. The seagulls were getting all excited, but now they're quiet. So let me grab some cards. Let's grab the bright cards. We have the power, that's for sure. Please join us at Grassroots of Democracy. Don't use the reason that you don't have the time for not signing up for Grassroots of Democracy. Nobody's asking you for any commitment. We want you to attend our meetings. But here's what you get when you're on our email list for Grassroots of Democracy. Here's what you get. It's all free. Let me just do a little commercial from grassrootsofdemocracy.com. You get pretty much 3 times a week, unless I'm slacking off, you get an article that goes also to Substack that I write. On Substack, it's Grassroots of Democracy group. But when you join Grassroots of Democracy, you get my newsletter with that article that I write. You get a guided meditation for a healed America that we do every Tuesday night. You can come to the meetings, but if you miss, you get a recording of it. If you come to grassrootsofdemocracy.com, or if you're just on the list, you get detailed notes from our discussion group meeting on Thursday nights. And it's all for free. So I don't want to be hearing this. I don't have time for Grassroots of Democracy, okay? All right, that was my little lecture. And Warren's got a testimonial up there. Grassroots of Democracy is phenomenal. It surely is. 3 cards on Kamala Harris. And please make sure you hit the thumbs up, and please make sure you subscribe. If my numbers don't go up, I just don't know what I'll do. Probably nothing. just go with it. Thank you for your donations. When you become a member, you get a beautiful affirmation in your inbox every single day of the week. And it's awesome. It truly is. Kamala. Okay, what Kamala is going to experience is a turn for the good. The King of Pentacles is Joe Biden. The Five of Pentacles is, this is what we're going to see. And we kind of knew this anyway with Kamala Harris. Wait, that's weird. The card just flipped. This is really weird because I had one card in my hand and there was like a magic trick and another card came to my hand instead. All right. I think the guides are speaking through that little trick that they just did. Kamala is doing really well because of what the Biden administration has achieved. At the last minute, well, not the last minute, but the billionaires that are backing MAGA are going to do some kind of a deposit into MAGA. They're going to deposit a lot of money to MAGA. It's not that it's going to work because Kamala is going to come back and then there's a that might have already happened, but there's a Wheel of Fortune turn for the better. And then I see the Death card. I feel like this is the end of MAGA. I feel like this is the end of MAGA. So what she's doing is she's ushering MAGA out. There you go. You can go. Go on your way now. We've had enough of you. Right? So, yeah. So interesting. This is Joe Biden helping Kamala. This is the billionaires suddenly just dumping money into MAGA. And I mean just dumping stupidly. The billionaires stupidly dumping money into MAGA because like a last-ditch effort. The Wheel of Fortune turns in Kamala's favor. And this is the end of MAGA. The end of MAGA. The end of MAGA. Right. I need to write a song about the end of MAGA. Because one thing about writing songs is if you keep singing them, then they start to happen. The end of MAGA. Now remember, our little chants. More Democrats running in elections winning. We got to win at the local level too. I also want to mention that I know that the potential VP candidates, I heard they're all converging in Pennsylvania over the weekend. And I remember when I read the tea leaves, I saw a bunch of activity around that. Remember there's this big bunch of tea leaves in the, I forget where it was exactly. Under the snake, I think. So that'll be interesting. We don't have to read on that right now because they might not be chosen until Tuesday. But the love and the excitement and the normalcy has just been no match to the evil. If anything, I mean, I think it makes us more appreciative of how we can access happiness, we can access joy, we can access laughter. And these MAGAs are just, I mean, I'm going to start calling them the miserable MAGAs. How about that? The miserable MAGAs. What do you think of that one? The MAGAs are weird and miserable. The Whams. Weird and miserable MAGAs. What do you think of that? Oh, do I still see Mark Kelly as VP? I really want Mark Kelly to be VP. Let's look. We'll have to end there because it's getting late. Don't you guys have dates? Don't you have somewhere to be? What are the chances that Mark Kelly will be the VP pick? 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. It's going around and around and around. 70%, 80%. Yeah, the pendulums are not going to give it to me tonight. I don't think they've made up their minds yet. All right. I think that's it. Please join us for Church of Spirituality. Please go to that channel at Church of Spirituality. Some really great, inspiring stuff. And there's a discussion that I do every Tuesday nights that's really good and uplifting information. So at Church of Spirituality on YouTube. Remember, I have a brand new website. It went up hours, just like an hour and a half ago. AnnetteDionMusic.com. You can donate to my musical endeavors there, which means I can get back into the studio and record more songs. And it helps a lot. So check that out. And I think we have the January 6th song during the slideshow that's coming up. Please join us on Sunday at Church of Spirituality channel, 1 o'clock live stream Eastern. It's so awesome to be with you. It's always awesome. And thank you. And pat yourselves on the back for being amazing and for helping to save democracy. We do have the pendulum class tomorrow, and we have Aggressive to Democracy meeting tomorrow too. That's all I've got for you. Namaste. Stay as cool as you are. Bye.
Was a dark day, we were frightened, so much chaos, so many white men, caught off guard, no one knew what to say. How did it all get so crazy? Facts were absent, the air was hazy, we stood watching, tears streamed down our faces. While in the White House there was a tyrant glued to the TV, cheering the violence. When they pleaded, he refused to say a word. He just sat there in his fury, lashed out against us. The world was worried. We didn't know if we would make it through. The day they stormed the Capitol, they couldn't take it down, and now we're rising up in numbers much too numerous to count, and we are taking back democracy, and we won't be backing down. We are taking back democracy, and we won't be backing down. Now we're standing, we're united. Our elders showed us the most worthy fight is for our freedom, requires vigilance. We're courageous, growing stronger, not complacent. We serve with honor, and our power is the love that leads our way.